The market has been giving us so much more clarity over the last few days, and it does look like that phase 2 of the bull run is about to begin. We usually don't have super bullish crypto summers, but right now we have a forecast with the war drama cooling off, as well as potential rate cuts being hinted in the coming months. This could be very good for crypto markets and eventually very good for altcoins. So in this video, I'm going to go over 3 narratives that I am absolutely locked in on right now to accumulate and make sure that I am in the trenches to win whenever altcoins do turn up later in the cycle. So I'm going to go over my bull thesis and a few projects and the 3 narratives that I am super focused on. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Before we jump into it, guys, be sure to drop down, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more every single day and every week here on In the Game. We have you covered from all the latest alpha in crypto to make sure that you win this cycle. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have some incredible sponsors from 𝗲𝗍𝗃 as well as 𝗪𝗡𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏𝗡. But we'll talk about 𝗏𝗏𝗡's new trading competition here in the middle of the show. But let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. The market's looking pretty good. And if we just look at the Bitcoin price action over the last few days, the fact that we were holding strong at those 100K levels before and during the war turmoil, whenever we really thought, oh, we could be heading into World War III here, that is some of the biggest strength that I have seen in the market in quite some time. And it is telling as to how far Bitcoin has come as an asset class. And right now, yes, most altcoins and today in general is not the best in the market, but I think we've been provided a lot of clarity. If really 98K is the floor now for during a war, when traditionally that is some of the biggest peak fear and FUD levels in any given market in the history of markets. And we see the rebound that's happening in the stock market. We see Nvidia making new all-time highs today. We're looking across the board. We see a London listed smarter web company snaps up 196 Bitcoin, lifting its treasury to 543 Bitcoin, which is $42 million worth of Bitcoin. I mean, we're seeing the adoption unfold right in front of our eyes, and this cycle and future in crypto is just not like we have seen in the past. Like, what is happening in the crypto industry right now is one of a kind, and this is an adoption that we have never seen before. So I think we have to treat these things very different from what we have seen in the past. And as we move on, look, as much as there is this institutional adoption, the mainstream networks are still just talking about XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, etc. But really, those coins are not the trend and cycle leaders. And that's the edge you have, not just being a Robinhood investor. Like if you're watching In the Game or if you're watching the main channel on Crypto Banter, you are deep in the game and you understand that these altcoins aren't going to be the ones that catapult you to big wins. And we're all waiting for the time whenever, look, Bitcoin dominance hopefully finally comes down, but we need to see all-time highs and we need to see rate cuts at the same time. So Bitcoin dominance really just continues to rise. It's at 65% at this point in time, but we do see the Fed Chair Jerome Powell finally saying that future trade deals may allow the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates. And the rumors are this could happen as soon as July, which would be incredibly bullish. We've seen this happen whenever the money printer gets turned on, whenever the Fed does lower rates. The crypto market and risk on markets tend to do very, very well. And on top of that, we have a ton of shorts in the market. Funding is negative, which means more people think that this market is going to go down. And really, I think that this pressure, this could be a huge squeeze for the market. There would be $1.4 billion liquidated if Bitcoin reaches $110,000 and $500. So look, I think that short interest is also very bullish for the market. Whenever everyone is thinking one thing, we usually go the other, and people might be thinking that this bounce is over. I actually think we're heading into phase 2 of the bull run, and I'm going to go over 3 narratives quickly in this video that I think I am A, most dialed in on, but B, have so much upside in the coming months. But before we jump into that, just to do with the shorts. There's a lot of short interest. If you are looking to long the market, there's no better place in the centralized exchange game than Blofin. And just today, the battle or the war of the whales, pardon me, did just get started. It is a $4.2 million competition where you can win a trip to the Grand Prix and also win a Cybertruck. So $4 million in prizes from the #1 no KYC centralized exchange. If you're in the US and you need somewhere to trade, this is the spot for you. So check out Blofin down below in the description. They have hundreds and hundreds of pairs and some of the newest pairs available for longs and shorts in the market every single day. So let's jump into the 3 narratives that I am really the most bullish on at this point in time. #1, this one should be pretty obvious, but looking across the board at altcoins, like there's so many good entries here. Whether you're bullish on 𝗬𝗍, Avalanche, Hyperliquid, whatever the case is, a lot of really good altcoin entries are presenting themselves as of today. So that's #1. I mean, just quality alts, right? Solana, I think Hyperliquid, 𝗬𝗍, Avalanche, TON under $3 is a really good buy. I think Caspa under 8 cents is super cheap at the same time. I do like Sonic as well, down 30% on the monthly. I think that one's definitely due for a big rebound. And that's just as far as some of the major coins. But the narratives that I am absolutely bullish on at this moment in time. #1, AI. Look, if the market continues to trend upwards, we don't need an alt season to see AI tokens do their thing. We've seen it in the past where the market and Bitcoin are just doing very well and AI as a narrative is hot. So we see it run despite there really not being an alt season. And at this moment in time, I think the market is pretty primed for an AI run. First and foremost, if you open up anything, Instagram, Twitter, you're getting hit with new startups in AI. You're getting hit with all this different AI news, what you can do, the different prompts across Gemini and ChatGPT, whatever the case is. And just today, NVIDIA flipped Microsoft to become the world's most valuable company. And every time NVIDIA earnings comes through the door or anything like that, we see AI altcoins do tremendously well. And look, you don't even have to be in the altcoin scene. You can be participating in virtuals. You can do creator bid. Just indulge in the 𝗏𝗔𝗟 network. You have Kaido, Cookie. Those are AI-based content creation platforms. So this was a really good, just complete breakdown of everything going on in AI crypto at this point in time. But for us here on the channel, what can we be buying right now to ride up this narrative, especially when altcoins get a little bit of juice behind them? To me, #1 obviously is 𝗏. You guys know that, however. So we're going to move down the ladder here. I think 𝗏 and Render should be the ones that weigh the top of your portfolio. But then moving on down the line, I'd be looking a little cheaper for virtuals. I do think that virtual season as it is right now is coming to a close. We've seen this narrative for the last month and a half be one of the hottest in crypto, but they're going to have to figure out a more long-term sustainable method with these AI launches. So I would be looking for a little cheaper on virtuals. I think $1.30, $1.25 could be a pretty realistic level to watch for here on virtuals. So that is a DCA I'd be looking to make if we see a little further dip from here. But moving on down the line are more beta plays to an NVIDIA run, right? So every time we have seen NVIDIA itself have a big run, earnings come in, or we see right now they just flipped Microsoft to be the biggest company in the world. We see those small to mid caps do very well. So for me, I'd be looking at DeSync. I know a lot of people bullish on Destra. So this one at 110 million, I think is a great play. I like 0x0 at $100 million market cap. I do like Prime, but it does fall more in the gaming niche. But moving on down the ladder, I think these two under 30 million are absolute steals in the long term between GPU and Neural AI. They are coincided very well with their branding, their colors with NVIDIA. So they usually do well around NVIDIA bullish news. But on top of that, Neural is one of the highest utility projects that we've seen in AI crypto with their models, their integration in gaming, etc. And then also with GPU, their product is pretty easy. Lend out your GPU power, earn GPU on the back end, and there's a lot of stuff that they're building as well. So I love those as my two favorite low cap AI plays. And that conviction position hasn't changed. I'm super hammered on those couple of altcoins because I don't really want to spread my bets. You can get really toasted in this market, as we've seen over the last few years. This is not 2021, where you can literally just hold 100 coins, they all do a 5x, and you're going to make it out alive. Like, we have not seen that setting yet for the last 4 years. So at this moment, those are really the 5 AI coins that I am dialed in on. It would be Tau, Render, Desync, as well as 0x0, Neural, and then a 6th one would be GPU. The next narrative that I am super focused on right now, and we don't talk about this narrative enough on the site, on this channel, but it is a big part of the cycle, and it is making a big comeback due to institutional interest and clarity, and that's DeFi. We see here some DeFi degens really looking forward to getting involved with the black hole DEX. So this is some of the testnet stuff that we're seeing. The APRs, etc., are just absolutely insane. And if we just look across the board, there's so much interest in DeFi at this point in time. We see Aave still the category leader, but I think there's a couple of undervalued plays, and I'm going to give you guys 3 that I really like. Obviously, I'm looking forward to Black Hole. If you're not farming this already, jump in the testnet, play around with their platform, etc. I think this is going to be a really big win for those that get involved early. Or you can stake your Superverse tokens in order to get involved with the Black Hole token. As we've seen, it's all but confirmed that the super stakers will get an airdrop here in this protocol for Black Hole. But anyway, let's move into 3 projects that I think are undervalued on the DeFi side of things. Number 1 is a token. So if you're looking for a token buy that is really tied into DeFi, but maybe obviously you don't want to go and buy something like a Aave, which is $3 billion on market cap, I'd be looking at 𝗕𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. I think that this one has a lot of legs on the base ecosystem, very much DeFi integrated, and I think as far as the market cap goes, it's still a 5x plus until it even reaches the Aave market cap, and this is one of the fastest growing protocols in DeFi. So that's number 1 on the token side, but more so on the degen side. And also, you could invest in these higher level protocols, but I think interacting with the Hyperliquid network and the 𝗬𝗍 network are going to provide big wins. We've seen 𝗬𝗍 stablecoin interest rate increase tremendously over this cycle, and there's still only 20,000 users utilizing the actual Hyper EVM chain. So I think that those are both very underfarmed. And also, if you get involved with the right projects there, or even invest at a high level in 𝗬𝗍, etc., I think those DeFi ecosystems provide a ton of value at this point in time. And then the last one, but this one, you're going to have a lot of patience in this narrative, and that is gaming. I still do see a gaming run happening this cycle, maybe not to the likes of what we saw in 2021, but this could be something that plays out at the end of the cycle as one of those narratives that hasn't pumped, that just money flows into because they see it as tremendously undervalued based on market performance, comparatively speaking, in other narratives. So what I'd be doing is literally just pick 5 and be ready to DCA them over the course of the cycle. For me, that would be Prime, Ronin, Beam, Avalanche, and then I'd be looking at something like IMX. I know IMX is, not so flashy these days, but it is still one of the biggest protocols by market cap in the entire gaming sector. I do think that whenever the Gunzilla mainnet goes live, that the Gun token can do pretty well. But for me, I'd be investing in high-level infrastructure. Betting on individual games in this space has been one of the most least profitable things you can do. And yes, there are games out there winning. FIFA Rivals, On-Chain Heroes. We see stuff like Off the Grid and MapleStory. In game, they have done very well, but the economic side of these things has to be fleshed out. And we see right now, most games are just farming 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and SocialFi, or they're leaving Web3. So this leaves opportunity for games that are still building. We see OpenSea and Off the Grid officially teased by the CEO of Off the Grid. So I think trading assets is going to go live very soon. And on-chain degeneracy with people making money in these games has proven to be the one thing that really drives hype over the course of the cycle. And then last but not least, if you are bullish on gaming and you're looking for an early protocol to to invest in. There is the Uprising token sale going on right now. So Uprising, they have like 5 or 6 ecosystem games already with gameplay out there or playable. So not a lot of teams in gaming have gone the route of, oh, let's build an ecosystem and let's build out games and then we'll launch the token. More so, they launch the token, farm that whole side, and then maybe come out with a game later. So their pre-sale is live right now, and I think that the distribution is actually super fair. We see 45% going to the community, with also 27% going into the game fund. So I assume that is going to be to fund the games that they're building, but on top of that, to fund the ecosystems and the economics of the games that they are building as well. So if you want to get involved with this, it's $500 minimum. I don't really think there's a ton of risk in that. The vesting is pretty friendly, so you can take a look down below. I'll leave a link for this pre-sale if you are interested in getting involved. But more or less, I am very bullish on what Uprising is doing. Their NFTs have performed very well over the course of time. Like I said, they're one of those few teams that have built out a full ecosystem before launching a token, which is not very extractive at all, whereas most gaming teams are super extractive, launch a token, and you'd be lucky to even get a clean interface or gameplay clips over the course of time. So that's what I'm looking at this point in time, guys. Right now, AI, DeFi, and then I'm plotting on big DCAs into gaming. Whenever I feel like everything else is running, that's when I want to hammer down on the big gaming altcoins, because I do think, and as we've seen in past cycles, you're going to see money flow there whenever everything else is pumped, and they're going to look around and say, well, what hasn't pumped? And that's going to be gaming. And there are those catalysts over the next 3 to 6 months that could cause a gaming run. So that's what I'm looking at this point in time, guys. Let me know down below what you're most focused on in crypto and altcoins, which sectors. But I think right now AI and DeFi provide the most upside in the short term, and I think that gaming will come around, but it's definitely going to be a waiting game, and we have to be patient on our entries there. So guys, like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more. I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, play well, my friends, and of course, stay bullish, my friends.